Get the facts right.
We begin tonight with more information about a deadly train collision in Crozet, Virginia. Dozens of members of Congress and their staff were on board when it crashed into a vehicle. Good evening, I'm Brent Weber.
And I'm Allison Woods. Thanks for joining us tonight. Federal investigators are searching for a cause. Tara Palmieri has the latest from the crash site.
Dozens of Republican lawmakers were on board a chartered Amtrak train when it slammed into a trash truck near a crossing, derailing the train and killing one.
Suddenly there's a loud bang and things stopped. Lights went out. There was an acrid smell of electrical smoke.
There's no question that we hit something. We just didn't know what, of course, at that point.
The politicians were heading from Washington to West Virginia when the collision happened at 11:15 in the morning, just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia.
Mass casualty incident, level 1, train versus truck.
Upon impact, trash and debris littered the area around the tracks.
See how it's stripped it?
North Carolina Representative Mark Walker filmed the stunning moments through the train window. Lawmakers sprang into action, offering first aid to victims. Despite their best efforts, the truck driver died on the scene.
Did CPR for several minutes. Dr. Rowe gave me a look that I don't know where you teach this in medical school, with the look that this is over, Roger. There's nothing else we can do.
One person is in critical condition, but for those on the train, most of the injuries were minor. The NTSB gave an update Wednesday night on the investigation.
We're in the process of retrieving the event recorders. We expect the on-scene phase of the investigation to last several days.
By then, lawmakers were long gone on buses, and the retreat was underway. Minnesota Congressman Jason Lewis has been discharged from the hospital following a concussion. He's joined his colleagues at the retreat in Greenbrier, West Virginia. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Crozet, Virginia.
Congressman Doug LaMalfa was on that train. He talked to us earlier today, saying that he was not hurt.
A traffic stop in Chico last week led sheriffs to a big haul of drugs and cash. Deputies pulled over Stephen Green for a routine traffic stop, and they ended up finding 3.5 grams of cocaine. This led to a search warrant of Green's home in Chapman, where deputies found 78 grams of cocaine, 262 pounds of marijuana, and over $2,000 in cash. Green was arrested and is being held on $500,000 bail.
A homeless and disabled veteran moved off the streets and into a new home in Chico this week. It's all thanks to a collaboration between the Chico Fire and a nonprofit. Chico Posse founder Lori Maloney helped find an apartment for Robert. There was just one problem. Robert is in a wheelchair, but the apartment was not wheelchair accessible and he had no way to get in. They went to Facebook and put out a call for help, and as they always do when someone asks for it, Chico firefighters responded. On their days off, firefighters built this ramp, putting the final touches on this morning.
And to be able to get him into an apartment and then facilitate the means for him to be able to go in and out of it it does feel good. It is what we do.
Just to be able to call somebody instantly and have some help is huge. That's kind of where we got going with the Posse Foundation in the first place, because a lot of people fell through the cracks over things that were immediate needs.
Chico firefighters also donated another $600 they raised to the Posse. If you want more information or want to help, just visit krcrtv.com.
Let's take a live look outside over Redding tonight from the Mercy Sky Cam. Looks a little dreamy there. Rob Elvington, our first alert meteorologist, is here, and it has been a little bit of a dreamy January, February coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a very warm start to February. We have a chance of seeing some record highs just about every single day the first week of February. Afternoon highs running 20 to 25 degrees above normal. Take a look at Redding right now, 57 degrees. That's actually our average or normal high for this time of the year, for this date. So even at 10 o'clock, we're running about where we should be in the afternoon hours. We also have that north-northwest wind in place at about 6 miles per hour. And we're going to continue to be in some northerly winds pretty much through the next 5 to 6 days. Now, let me step off screen real quick and let's see if we can get our next graphic up. There we go. We do have some of those clouds still passing, and you'll also notice that we've got some returns on the radar. Most of this is what we call virga, so it's evaporating before it reaches the ground. Maybe a few sprinkles here in the overnight hours, but don't expect much. Threat track over the next 3 days, we'll call it partly sunny. Tomorrow we'll see some periods of mostly sunny skies, but still some of those passing clouds from out of the west. But we're also going to start to see 70s in the valley tomorrow, and then by Friday into Saturday, we're tracking highs in the upper 70s, if not a few spots making a run at 80. Back to you.
Thank you, Rob. Well, if you plan on applying for health care through Cover California, your deadline is tonight in just 2 hours. You have until 11:59 tonight to enroll in the insurance policies offered through the Cover California marketplace. Officials say there are more than 1.2 million members that have renewed their coverage for this year. That's a little more than half of the 3 million that have ever enrolled.
If you know any high school juniors interested in a career with the FBI, listen up. The FBI Teen Academy is coming in March in Roseville. Juniors in the one-day program will see how FBI agents deal with things like cyber safety, terrorism, active shooter situations, civil rights investigations. They'll even have simulated experience with the FBI's evidence response team, special agent bomb techs, and firearms training. If you're a high school junior and would like to attend, you should visit the Sacramento FBI Community Relations webpage.
Marijuana remains against federal law in the U.S., but that hasn't stopped the marijuana industry from growing. 9 states in the District of Columbia now allow for recreational marijuana use. 30 states allow for medical use only. BDS Analytics, which tracks the cannabis industry, says the emerging pot industry took in nearly $9 billion in sales in 2017. With that kind of profit rolling in, even more states are lining up to join the legalization wave.
The Fan Cave, or its male version, the Man Cave, gets the ultimate test on Super Bowl Sunday, and in the city of brotherly love, no fan can out-cave the hatchet. That story is still to come.
And coming camera, Indiana restaurant owner busted for what she sold with her cheese sticks. These stories and more coming up next.
And we're going to start off the month of February with highs running 10 to 15 degrees above normal. But by Friday into this weekend, we're going to start to see some spots making a run at 20 to 25 degrees above normal. Details coming up right after this break.